Today, I want to talk about the literal meaning of all the things that we experience on our spiritual journey and all the different concepts that we learn. The concept of certain topics that we study and we discover how they are literal. So, I want to discuss that concept of how everything is literal. It is like exactly what it, like, say, for example, if you're saying perfection of wisdom, that concept of perfection of wisdom, it's not just a Buddhist teaching, but it's literally applicable in our reality. Like, and I want to discuss why it's literal and how it's literal. So, for example, the concept of us being an actor. How is that literal that we are an actor? Because Buddha also said that. Buddha talks about being like we are just actors. So, how that concept of actor is literal is because we live in a world of a spiritual script. In our spiritual world, if you look at the Hebrew scriptures, it's basically the script, the entire script for humanity, or it's prophecy, and it tells you exactly what's going to happen and when this reality is going to end, like the 6,000 years that this reality is going to finish, and we are going to have the Great Tribulation, and we are going to have the Vajrayana path, we are going to have the intense purification, and we are going to have judgment basically for all our actions and everything that we have done. So these the scripture details everything, so we will, as human beings, we will go through that. So how is the concept of the actor, like every human being being an actor, how is that concept literal? Is because we live in a world that is already being scripted. So we are actors and we have a script. So to successfully live in this world, or to successfully get through the Great Tribulation, you have to read the script, which is given to you as the Hebrew scriptures, as the Bible, or the Hebrew scriptures originally, that has been compiled as the Bible in the mainstream Christianity. So you have to read that. So that's the script for this reality. It doesn't matter who you are. You're a Buddhist, you are a Hebrew, you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are an atheist, you are a tech guy with no religion, no culture, doesn't matter. The Great Tribulation will apply to you. So it doesn't matter what you believe and what you think this world is. The script is applicable to you. So you have to understand the Hebrew scriptures. So in that context, we are literally actors because we live from a spiritual script of our Father. And our Father is the author, the writer of our lives and of this reality, and how this dark and light system is going to play out, and how are we going to go through the cleansing process. So everything has already been written. So we have to understand that and understand our role as an actor in that. And you can read the scriptures and acquaint yourself. And in that context, we are literally actors. And then you have this holy scriptures that is applicable to every human being. Then you have the satanic scriptures. You have all the wars that was scripted. The 9/11 was scripted. The moon landing is a movie. It's literally a movie. It's not a real event. It did not happen. So the moon landing is actually a movie. When you realize that the moon landing is just fake, that is a script. So in that context, within the dark context as well, we are a part of a script, Satan's script. So in the light, in the holy ways, in the God ways, we have a script, which is the holy script, which is the Hebrew scriptures. And in the demonic way, the dark way, in the satanic way, we have a script, which is this mainstream world. Every event that unfolds, every negative events, wars and terrorism and all of these different things that we have to deal with, that makes it into the news, and we have to like understand, and that we hear about these events like the COVID-19, all of that is Satan's scripts. So either way, you look at the dark, it is a script. You look at the light, it is a script. So in that context, we are literally actors because we have scripts. The other literal thing is the perfection of wisdom. that is literal as well. With the perfection of wisdom, why the perfection of wisdom system exists is because our Father, Buddha, our Father in heaven, already saw that we as humans are going to go through the great deception of Satan, the first angel that Father created, and he fell. And he polarized into darkness. And because of him, Father knew that we as human beings were going to go through the great deception, and Satan is going to trick and fool everyone, as it is written in the Hebrew scriptures. Since the ancient times, since the beginning of time, it has already been written. Because our Father in heaven already knew that, the perfection of wisdom exists for that reason. It has been designed, or that's just how it is. Or Father thought he wanted to do the perfection of wisdom, or it's pre-existing, or if it's self-originating system, or if it's a deliberately designed system. The perfection of wisdom exists as an antidote for deception, because we are living in the great deception. We are living in this massive lie. Nothing is true. Everything is reversed. Everything is flipped. Everything is upside down. Man is a woman. Woman is a man. So it's literally flipped. So even that, when you say reversal of truth, even that is literal. Because if you look at the elites are transgender. So the man is a woman is a man in the elite faction, in the elite groups that rule the world. They're all transgender. So it's literal. So when we say this reality is upside down, it's been flipped upside down, and north is south and south is west and east is north, that's literal as well, because according to the scriptures, north, south, east, west, that's not how it's done. It starts with east. It doesn't start with north. So everything, it's a literal thing. So everything is literal. So when the perfection of wisdom, which we are meant to master during the tribulation, it exists because we have to understand that we live in a great deception. So what overcomes deception? Wisdom. So you have to perfect wisdom. You cannot just know a handful of disclosure and think that you understand this world. If you know about technology, if you know about the weather modification, that's not enough. You have to go all the way. You have to understand transgenderism. You have to understand the satanic elite, the demonic elite. You have to understand the vril droning. You have to understand the cloning. You have to understand child trafficking. You have to understand cannibalism that exists within the elite. You have to understand what technology is. You have to understand the Hebrew scriptures. You have to understand Buddhism. You have to understand the Prajna Paramita, the perfection of wisdom. You have to understand emptiness. So you have to cover the whole spectrum. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I know about the chemtrails, and I know about GMO, and I know about transgenderism. That's not enough. You have to perfect wisdom. You have to understand everything. So you have to listen to everything that we are giving testimony for. We are perfecting wisdom. So when we perfect wisdom, we rapture and go to heaven, because that means we have completed our learning, and we rapture and go to heaven. So that will fulfill the quota. That will fulfill what perfection of wisdom means. So if we rapture and go to heaven, you have to take our works and study it, because we have done the work, and our work is complete, and everything that we have said is enough. And for you to attain perfection of wisdom, and for you to understand emptiness. So that's why we are perfecting wisdom, so we can ultimately give that to the tribulation population, and they can learn and believe or not believe. It's up to them. But we can only present the information. It's like, this is how I achieved it, this is how I did it, and this is how I attained my perfection of wisdom. This is how I realized emptiness, and this is what caused me to rapture and go to heaven. This caused my total purification, and Christ and Father accepted me. So I can only give it to you. I'm like, this is what I did, but I can't teach it to you. But I can't make you do it. Christ can't make you do it. Buddha can't make you do it. Our Father in heaven can't make you do it. You have to do it yourself. And the same thing happened with Satan as well. Satan, the first angel, he knew everything. He knew all the knowledge. He knew dark and light. He was born from the light. He was born directly from our Father. Father created him, but it was his choice to not follow light, and it was his choice to follow darkness. So that's how he fell. So even Father that created Satan cannot force Satan to be like, you have to follow the light, you have to do the right thing. Even our Father in heaven, he can't do that. He forced his ways onto even the first angel, the very first angel that he created. And then he just has to let it go. And if Lucifer, Satan doesn't want to follow, he doesn't want to follow. So that's how it is. So in the tribulation, it's the same thing. We can perfect wisdom and we can present our work. And it's like, this is what I did. This is what will take you to heaven. This is what will cause your rapture. We can give you the information, but we can't force it. We can't make you learn it. I can give you the food, but I can't eat it for you. I can give you water, but I can't drink it for you. It's the same concept. It's a direct application. So there are many ways to realize emptiness. There are many ways to understand emptiness. And even within the Buddhist system, there are many ways to understand or go down the path to realizing the ultimate truth, which is emptiness. But in my journey, in my Vajrayana path, I did not have the pre-knowledge of all the Buddhist systems. I did not know. There was no one legitimate to teach it. If you go online, it's like 80% is BS. And I was lucky enough to find one Nepalese decent teacher, and from that person I learned some legitimate stuff. I learned some real stuff, which is like recently. But previously, for 2-3 years ago, when I'm in my Vajrayana path and I'm practicing, it's been a real practice for me. So it's not like I'm reading and understanding emptiness, but like I'm basically dropping veils. I'm experiencing this reality, the true nature of this world, the true nature of reality. So I'm coming from that space and dropping veils and decoding the world and realizing that everything is a script and everything is a lie and everything is already written. Whether you look at it through the light, good angle, that we have a script and everything is already written, or you look at it through the dark angle, that it is script and it's all written. Even my name is given to me by Satan. My date of birth is given to me by Satan. The country that I was born is given to me by Satan. So nothing is true. Nothing is real. So everything has been pre-planned for us. And sometimes when they know we are going to be born or we are going to come into this world for a very specific mission at a very specific time, Satan can even start planning your life a few generations ahead. And I have decoded that as well. How he was already planning my life a few generations ahead. So nothing is real. So you can get to that level of decoding and basically achieve your emptiness and realize that, oh wow, it doesn't matter where I'm born, what nationality I am. It just, those things don't matter at all. So you just naturally achieve your emptiness when you unveil this reality. And when you unveil, like, environmental campaign is fake. All of your terrorist events are fake. All your world wars are fake. All your refugee programs are engineered because they want to ship a lot of people into the Western world, because they do not have a lot of people, or they do not have a lot of talented people. So they want to ship a lot of people into these Western debt slavery systems. And they are looking to build their own multicultural world type system, like our Father created this whole world. Satan wants to do that, create that world system in his Western world. So they're doing this fake wars and fake refugee programs and shipping us. Basically, I call it, I was trafficked to Australia, because it's like they're just shipping us. Like, we don't have a choice, and they just ship us to these countries, and they already also give us a fake choice, that which country do you want to go to? But they've already planned, like Satan had already planned my life in Australia, not just in Australia, but South Australia, in Adelaide. So he had already planned my life. He had even planned the person that I was going to be with, the partner that I was going to have in Australia, which house I was going to live in. All of that was planned for me even before I came here. So that's why it's a script and everything is fake. So you have to transcend all of that and realize that you're just an individual that is here to do your mission. You're here to accomplish your spiritual path, and that's it. You're not here to do anything else. You're not here to identify. You're not here to mourn about, like, oh, I became a refugee and this and that. I do not have a country and I don't have a human identity. That's not the point. The point is to achieve your spiritual liberation, You could have all of those things, all the material worldly stuff you could have, but if you do not achieve your spiritual liberation, then you are in big trouble. Like, I can't explain to you the trouble, like, it's crazy. You will go to hell and you will burn in hell. So you have to be very mindful. So you have to transcend this entire world and focus on your spiritual path and realize emptiness, rapture, and go to heaven. Otherwise, you're in big trouble. You will literally realize emptiness in that way when you realize everything in your life was planned by the fallen angels of the firmament. When they planned it, when Satan's minions, Satan's clan, Satan's race, when they have teams dedicated to every individual human being. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, there is a demon or a team of demons dedicated to every individual human being that will plan your life, that will plan everything you do, what clothes you wear, what you eat for breakfast, what shoes you wear, how you do your hair. Everything is determined by the demon that is given to you as a guide. They call it the spiritual guide. In the New Age, that's basically your demons. And they are, I think, clones as well from the firmament. So they're all telepathic. We have no idea, like, they are with us and they are in contact with us, and they are always in our lives 24/7. They're always in our lives, and they have they want total power and control over your identity, and they are used to having that level of power and control over your identity, and they cannot let go because they are totally attached. You might as well have like a conjoined twin next to you. So there is a demon totally attached to you, and they will your life and your identity in that capacity. So and when you realize that, when you realize everything in your life doesn't matter because they were actually done by these demons, then you can realize emptiness. You can drop the veil and realize emptiness. Even like your small emotional nuances, even those are from the demons, because they're all about tricking you. It's all about trickery. As long as they can keep tricking you, and as long as they can keep influencing you, keep convincing you, they will keep doing that. So, and that's why it's so important to transcend everything and focus on your spiritual path to gain liberation. So that should be your only concern, and your only focus is to gain liberation and not go to hell. That should be your only concern. So when you realize reality in that way, when you drop all the veils, when you realize this whole world is a massive theater, you literally directly realize emptiness, because it's like, oh, I didn't do 90% of my life was fake. It was all planned by the fallen angels. My whole life was a script, was a demonic script. My worldly life was a demonic script. And when you realize that, your entire life, it comes to zero. So when you realize that, you can finish at zero. So like literally sunyata, which is like zero. So sunyata, sunya in Nepali is zero. And I think most of the cultures, most cultures would write zero with a circle like that. So most countries would write zero like that. So you finish with a zero, and most cultures write zero like this. So you would finish with a zero when you realize, like this, you drop the veil of this entire reality, and you drop the veil of your own personal life, and you realize, oh, everything is fake, everything is a theater, we are all actors, because I'm either in the satanic script or I am part of the Hebrew scripture script. Either way, I'm an actor. It's something else. There is a higher force, dark force, higher light force coming through you, streaming through you. And when you realize that, you finish at zero, because it's like you drop the veil of this reality totally. And the main veil you want to drop is the satanic veil. And that's, you do that through learning disclosure. You do that through learning testimonies, the testimony that we are giving, the disclosures that we are giving, even if it's controlled opposition disclosure, it doesn't matter, because it's all true, it's all real. And you have to go in, take a concept, go in, research, hone in, and break that spell and realize your emptiness.